not gold. The Golden Children versus the former Golden Children, and the Mick Jaggernats versus Kick-Ass.
This will be a good game.
You want to take this first? You want me to take this first?
No, I mean, I'd say this is going to be a good game, interesting one. Kick-Ass has definitely looked very impressive early this season. The Jaegernauts have also looked good. I think the Jaegernauts are the model of consistency. They're not going to beat themselves typically. They're going to play solid fundamental kickball, and Kick-Ass is going to have to find a way to overcome that. So I would say I'll go with Kick-Ass, though. I think they're probably a little bit better. I have them ranked higher than the Jaegernauts, but it's close. I'd say Kick-Ass by a run.
Yes, by a run. You're looking at teams after 2 weeks. The Jaegernauts didn't get to play the week 1, obviously. This is my team. Kick-Ass tied free ball in week 1. The Jaegernauts tied free ball in week 2. And that's with the walk-off in the bottom of the 5th. Kick-Ass laid it down against Battlestar week 2. Law of averages, I gotta go Kick-Ass on this against all my friends over at the Jaegernaut establishment.
Against our lovers.
I know. I hate to say this, but I'm going Kick-Ass. And I'm going Kick-Ass by 2. Not just a run, I'm going Kick-Ass by 2. So I'm sorry, but the unbiased perspective,
put it 1.5.
That's how I got to be. Put it 1.5.
That, but I abstain.
And Brian, my lovable guy back here, man, the camera's doing what he does. He keeps us on time. I want the gambling lines this week. I want them in here this week.
Yeah, or someone's getting fired at the league office.
Probably us.
Whoever's
probably us.
responsible.
We're the ones drinking and talking. He's the one doing all the work.
All right. We just recently discussed the new Kickheads struggled in week 2. Chubby Gangsters came alive in week 2. 2 teams seemingly headed in opposite directions.
Yeah.
What you got?
I'll start off. Again, Chubby Gangsters, my dark horse team, keeping the train running, going 3-0. I got them beating the Kickheads by an insurmountable 7 runs. This is why I got Chubby Gangsters by 7 runs. I'm going crazy tonight. Just book it.
Yeah, I was going to say around 7.5. So
there you go.
Yeah, just to put in that half in there so there's no pushes. But I mean, the Kickheads, they're inconsistent. I don't think they're as bad as we saw again in week 2, but you know, also at the same time, when I have to think about how many runs would they have to be getting for me to consider betting on them.
More than 1.
It's probably more than 7.5, to be honest with you.
Damn right.
I probably would just stay away from this game altogether. But I'll go with Chubby Gangsters minus 7.5 runs.
I like the 7.5. They took it to the foul balls, who had a pretty tight, even Steven game that they pulled out against the new Kickheads. So 7.5. Working for me. Isn't it great how we're all just best friends and get along so well?
So well.
We're getting well calibrated with
things are going great.
All right, then we have the aforementioned foul balls versus JKI. Sort of the same thing here. 2 teams that seem to reverse direction in week 2 and are headed different ways.
Man, as much as I love Brian back there, and Brian, you know I love him, man. But I got to go JKI. These guys coming out here putting up 15 runs against new Kickheads on the block, really showing me some promise here. Foul balls, they had that first win, very first week of the season. We averaged them probably earlier in the podcast about 3 games winning this season. This game is going to be one of them. I got JKI by 3.5.
You know, just like I said, new kicks probably aren't as bad as week 2. I don't think JKI is probably as good as they showed in week 2. So I still think they're favored and they deserve to be, but I would go a little bit lower. I'll say JKI minus 1.5.
So 3.5, 1.5, that averages out to 2.5. Matt, what you got, man? Don't use math, just use instinct, use gut feeling.
Well, you know what my instincts say about the foul balls here, so...
Wade Brock, how's he going to pitch? Is he pitching, Wade Brock?
Occasionally. I think I saw him on the mound a little bit the last week. 3.5 to JKI, I gotta say.
So you want to go? Do you want to go an even 3 for the gambling lines?
I can work with that.
Fair enough. You're okay with that?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Shake and bake. 5 o'clockers. Marquee matchup of the week. 2 teams that are going to be there at the end of the season, battling it out for the championship.
This man doesn't have a gambling line, obviously.
So let's just take this opportunity to slam Shake and Bake as much as possible.
As much as we can. And this is not even slamming Shake and Bake. This is not in the least bit slamming Shake and Bake. Let me be real when I say this. 5 o'clockers just totally shut me up week 1. They totally shut me up week 2. I'm not going to let them shut me up week 3. 5 o'clockers take this by 2 runs, and it's not because Shake and Bake's not a good team. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that the 5 o'clockers consistency is there. The team chemistry is there. They will get in your heads, they will mess you up, and they will win. It's happened multiple times. I'm telling you, 5 o'clockers by 2.
Yeah, you know, I just gotta take a point of contention there. 5 o'clockers are not getting in Shake and Bake's head.
You don't think so?
Seriously.
You got new players coming on. You don't think they're going to get in your head. You don't think when you're pitching in the 3rd inning and you're down by 2, hypothetically, that they're not going to get in your head. Start talking that mess that they talk on the sideline. They're not going to mess with your team.
They haven't gotten in our heads for 5 years, you know. You're not Shake and Bake's, but in my head.
Your head's different. I'm talking about your team's head. You only control 1 out of 11 players out there.
Yeah, but if you look at the players on Shake and Bake, they're
people call me when I'm doing the
Not
podcast.
professional.
not professional.
Brian Yon. Stop calling me Brian Yon when I'm doing the podcast.
No, I just say you look at Shake and Bake's core: Patrick, John Lanieve, Juice, Anthony, Scott Duncan, me, Jeffrey.
It's a good squad.
We have championship experience all up and down. Do you think we're going to let the 5 o'clockers intimidate us in a regular season game?
I'm not saying the 5 o'clock is going to intimidate you and play. What I'm saying is I think the 5 o'clock is going to get in your heads, talk that bullshit, and back it up at the same time.
Yeah, we'll see.
I mean, you don't want to agree with me, that's fine, but I've seen it, I've watched it, and I've been a part of it. I've seen it. I mean, they're the biggest shit-talking team in WAKA.
I will say the last time these 2 teams played was in the semifinals of the fall tournament. We beat them, I think, 4-1, 5-1. So their shit talking didn't work then.
That does have his
I'm
input.
still here on this podcast, and I still have an input.
Brian wants to wrap it up. We need to get your input real quick. Brian wants to wrap it up.
Well, you know, if you let me speak every now and
I'm
then,
sorry,
maybe you wouldn't have had to go on
ahead.
this diatribe.
We gotta cut this out.
Because I would have said I see it another way. It's
How do you
not.
see it?
I don't see a 2-run game either way. If anything, it's a 1-run win, and I'm not sure
This one's got
who I'm going to
0-0
go with.
written all over it.
Yeah.
So who you going with? Real quick. He's digging the button. Who you got?
My line, or if I just had to pick them?
It's a gambling line. Go with the gambling line.
All right, half a run, and I guess I'll go 5 o'clockers.
There it
Half a
is.
run, but I think you could go 1 run either way. and
I'm
like
on
I
your
said, it
side.
could be
I'm on your side this time, 5 o'clock.
2-2
Go ahead with the
tie.
next one.
I
Let's go
see
ahead.
a 2-2 tie.
Go ahead with the next one.
So what's the line?
It's going to be.
It's gonna be
half a run, 5 o'clockers.
half a run. I was going 1 run. We'll discuss that after we're done rolling.
Well, I'll say this: if you want some beer, you better not bet against Shake and Bake.
All right, JFK and the Burning Bridges. I may have spoke too soon when I said marquee matchup because we got another one right here. Burning Bridges coming off a really impressive week 2 win. JFK got it back together in week 2 with a blowout win.
Nice win. Nice win on both teams.
Yep. I think I've seen both teams play this year because we had JFK week 1 and we had Burning Bridges last week. I think Burning Bridges, I got to give them the edge. Both very, very outstanding teams and contenders. This is a rematch, another rematch from the semifinals last season. But this time, instead of JFK beating them, I think I'm going to give the edge to Burning Bridges. And I'll say Burning Bridges by 1.
We didn't give you a chance to talk last game, so.
Burning Bridges by 1.
There it is.
Go on.
I got the Condor, baby. I got Daniel, the Condor Shaw, running the game this time, man. Burning bridges, coming off a good win. JFK also coming off a good win. These two teams are just on a collision course. I got Shaw out pitching Burning Bridges, JFK by 2.
Ooh, so
pick 'em.
Swinging it back.
I do a pick 'em. Let's do a pick 'em on that.
All right,
That's good.
I like
That's
that.
You go either
I'll
way.
live with that.
Don't let me down, Shaw. Don't let me down.
Then the Moose Knuckles. Once again, back, they got a game against PBJ, who had a better showing in week 2 over week 1, but the Moose Knuckles came out big in week 2 with that 7-0 win over CT. You know, I'm going to go ahead and take my time here at the beginning, so I don't get railroaded right out of this.
You don't
thing.
talk enough in this podcast. You didn't talk more.
He keeps
What
us
a-
on.
Yeah, he does. He keeps us on point.
Moose Knuckles, they explode on offense here. I think they just start dropping bombs early and often. Oh, I see them. I'd take 5 runs if I
Moose
had to
Knuckles
bet
by
on this
5.
Let's make it a good 5.5 to avoid the push. But yeah, I'm with you.
Would y'all have Rumspringer versus PBJ on the lines? Do y'all remember what y'all had on the lines? We didn't record it. I mean, we didn't have it posted. But I don't remember it being 5.
No.
It was around 4,
4.
so you know. Pretty,
And we beat
And PB and J was coming off a 1-0.
Yeah,
loss.
we beat them by 5. I mean, now you're kind of putting us in the lump sum that Moose Knuckles are as good as Rumspring. And I'm going to take a little slight offense to that. No offense to Moose
There's
Knuckles.
nothing to be offensive about.
No.
It's all about matchups
Yes,
here. and
I'm making this
matchups.
podcast entertaining. That's what I'm doing here. I'm causing some controversy. PB and J have had some tough struggles. Moose Knuckles came back in formation after being gone a season. I still got PB and J losing because they're looking ahead to shake and bake in their doubleheader. But I got Moose Knuckles not winning by as much as my boys at Rumspringer are winning by. I got Moose Knuckles by 2.5, maybe 3.
So a pride pick over here.
Pride pick over here, man. I'm trying to solidify my team.
All right.
Unbiasedly trying to solidify here.
So what can we do? Round of 4,
I'll go
4.5.
Sure.
I'm going 2.5, 3.
I'm going to lose some pitchers on this one, boy.
You haven't lost any pitchers this whole season, except for that name game that we had.
Yeah.
So
I didn't lose.
4, 3.5.
3.5. 3.5. Oh, okay.
4.
Final word. 4.
That's fair.
All right.
That's a good. That's a good line.
Shake and bake, second half of doubleheader for them. PBJ also in the second half of the doubleheader. Don't think there'll be a lot of surprises here. You know, Mitch, you can't pick this one. PB&J, you know, they'll keep getting better week to week. You know, shake and bake. I'd be resting in the second half of their doubleheader a little bit. 6 runs, I would say. You know, not turning on full throttle.
Yeah, I got shake and bake. You know, cruising through this one. A lot of runs in the first couple innings, kind of backing off, taking it easy. I got shake and bake 7-1, so 6 runs.
We'll go 6. But that'll be a
You want to
shake and
chime
bake
in at all? Do you want to
sort of-
chime in? You can't make a line, but you can definitely chime in on what you feel about that game.
Well, you'll chime in by putting on the brakes at about.
Oh, it's gonna be a good game. We're gonna have a.
No, I just haven't seen enough of PB&J to really say anything definitive. I only chimed in on the 5 o'clockers one because I've seen the 5 o'clockers. PB&J, I think they're solid. They're probably a little inconsistent, a little inexperienced. So 6 runs might be low, but it might be more than enough. It just depends on what they bring. You know?
All right, then we have free balling, taking on the Battlestar Balls.
Oh, rivalry game right here. This is a good one. These two teams used to play together on Battlestar. Free balling broke off. Mary Catherine started that group last season, and it's a good rivalry. I think this is one that's gonna be a close one. I think both teams definitely, when they play, they really want it and they circle this game. to Battlestar. I heard they practiced today. A rare in the middle of the season practice because they want to be sharp. So I think it's going to be a good one, but I think free ball is just a little bit better than them talent-wise. So I see this being a free ball by a run and a half.
You know, I'm no secret to being a Mark Flores fan. Especially wearing the red shirt with the blue Under Armour. It was kind of
you have his poster on your wall, right?
I do. Actually, it's a poster of myself wearing a blue shirt and red Under Armour. But, you know, me and him are in good company. And I didn't invent Under Armour, so I can't say that I invented the style. I should have. I'd be a friggin' millionaire right now.
Where are we going with this?
What we're going with is it the transitive property? A is greater than B. If B is greater than C, then A is greater than B, or A is greater than C.
You're getting an A.
Yeah, I know. It is drinking it and doing math. But you're talking about free balling, tying kick-ass. Kick-ass beats Battlestar. I don't think this is a matchup questionnaire of who's going against who. I think it's just team versus team versus team. I got free balling, beating them. And I got him beating them good. I got him beating them by 3 runs. I'll tone it down to 2 for the lines. But Flores, I really think he's worked on the 2-bounce approach coming in. It's not a whole lot of 1 bounces I've seen, so he's definitely worked on the contour of the pitch. So I got free balling rolling.
I see this a lot like y'all too. I was thinking when I read this, a 4-2 game, free balling. You know, it stays tight because it's a hotly contested competition. But like you said, Mark Flores is the inverse Matt Wellbrock, and that's about good enough for a 2-run win.
Absolutely. Absolutely. He has more power but less accuracy. I think I got more accuracy but less power. If we can combine our two and make some sort of purple concoction with the red-blue, we'll be on to something. Stay tuned for the fall season. We're both on the Jaegernauts.
Look out for floorbar. All right, so 2 runs. So we're doing
Justin. Yeah,
1.5, 2, 2.5.
I go 2 at least.
2.
I went 1.5, but 2's already.
Yeah. Let's dig it. I look for the push there. All right, finishing it off. Chicken Tetrazzini. A team Mr. Wellbrock spent, much of his, for him, a small percentage of his time speaking on this podcast, but still several minutes, giving it to the Angry Birds in the first half of this segment.
I love those guys. Great golf partners. A great foursome that we had. Joey, Adam, Derek Patterson. Phenomenal job playing golf with you guys. I had a great time. But now it's time to go to Kickball.
Good guys to go to a wrestling show.
Also a good time to go to a wrestling show. Yeah, these guys are just jack of all trades, but we're here focusing on the game, so all that aside, now it's focused on Chicken Tetrazzini, Rum Springer. I'm going to sit this out for the time being. I'll let you guys discuss this and make the lines.
I think Rum Springer, even though they caught the loss, they really showed that they can hang with the league's top teams when they played 5 o'clockers last week. Chicken Tetrazzini is not one of the league's top teams, so I think they should handle them. I'm going to go Rum Springer minus 5.5.
Yeah, Chicken Tetrazzini really took some lumps in week 2. This is a late game for them. I'm going to bring in that added element you might not be considering.
They'll get some good tailgating.
Yeah, they will have time to prep. And I don't mean practice on the field. That turns into 8-1, 7-1 in favor of
Oh my God, man, you guys are adding way too much hype, man. I feel like there was last week that y'all weren't giving us 3 runs chance. PB&J, now you're giving me 7, 8 runs.
I've been able to look into your soul over the past 3 weeks, and I've seen something different. And it's broken through the ice around my heart.
I appreciate y'all's flip on the Rum Springer. But believe me, Chicken Tetrazzini, watch out. If you're watching this podcast, I love playing golf with you guys. I love watching wrestling with you guys. They're going down week 3. Believe it. Mark it, whatever y'all want.
6.5?
It's marked, yeah. 6.5.
6.5 it is. All right, and that's it for week 3 previews and gambling lines. Yep, we got some big spreads, it looks like, around here.
Huge ass spreads.
And then
it's like
we got
Thanksgiving up in this bitch.
We got kicking off with kick-ass corn pudding, shake and bake, bringing the stuffing.
Some rum, spring of rutabagas.
Chicken tetrazzini. I guess they eat hot dogs at Thanksgiving too.
Most
or chicken tetrazzini.
We might not allow you that.
Peanut butter jelly brings the peanut butter jelly sandwiches.
Before we get to the plugs, I mean, I posted out again, and this is going to get posted, was the questions for you guys. Keith Moorhart,
lightning round.
Only person that had a question this time, real quick before we get in the plugs, was, you know, we mentioned the 3 tiers here in the WAKA Peninsula division. We had the top tier, the middle tier, the social tier. He wants to know who's jumped to another tier if they had, who's pretty much solidified themselves as either 1, 2, or 3 tier. Now I'm pretty sure that the top tier is pretty much still settled going 2 weeks in, but second, third tier, what you guys got? Anybody made jumps? Anybody solidified themselves?
Just like you, I see the top 4, same. You know, they've had some interesting scores for those top 4, you know, making it a little more wide open than maybe we thought it was. So all 4 of those teams I still see, you know, they've got the best inside track to the title. Middle of the road, you know, we didn't know, we haven't really seen any statement games, I would think, from a lot of people. You know, Chubby Gangsters have come out hot. But once again, you know, once they start beating some of those teams that we consider right there in the middle or maybe pull a big upset.
I had Chubby Gangsters as a dark horse, but also in the middle tier. Let me change the focus just for time. JKI. You see JKI slipping into the middle rung. You still see them as a social team.
Same thing. Gotta beat someone. Gotta beat the man to be the man.
New kickheads on the block. Do you see them just solidified as a social team? Do you see them doing anything to get into the middle pack?
We lost to the foul balls. God, I'm gonna get some shit for saying that, but that puts them at the bottom rung. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Brian.
Hey, that's what it's for. Ain't no apologize necessary here. This is what we're here for, to deliver the truth.
You know,
kickheads, yeah, I mean, they're definitely in that social tier, and there's nothing wrong with that.
No,
they come out and they have a good time. So,
and we've both talked to Amanda, and we know that we're not shooting anybody down.
Yeah.
Just grouping them together, and we love the new kickheads, man. Her and Lindsay or Ashes and who they have on there, fantastic people to hang on the block. This wouldn't be the same without you guys. So,
good retention effort.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
Absolutely.